Could you close the garage door, love? Testing. Testing. All right, cool. So if you guys do remember, we were working on this one TV stand for my dad. We already finished the other one, sitting back there right behind this one. The last thing I need to do for this TV stand is actually do all the shelving, and I have a bunch of walnut sitting here in the back of the shop that we're going to use to make up the shelving, and then we have some sanding and some final touches, and then applying the finish. So what I want to get done first is actually glue up all my shelving. Let me close that back door too. So our goal for the day is to make up all the shelving for the TV stand. We have a bunch of boards of walnut that we're going to mill and glue up to make the actual shelving. This TV stand is pretty much done at the point. I do need to actually drill the shelf pin holes. They've already been drilled for location, but I need to actually bore them to the actual depth. We're using 1/4-inch shelf pins. I need to do that, sand, and finish the outside. But again, because of limited amount of time, I want to get all these shelves glued up first. While they're drying, then we'll start addressing the carcass, and then we'll hop back to the shelves. We'll probably pretty much bounce back and forth between the two. So first things first, though, that is getting up all of our shelving. And what I envision for this TV stand is to have shelving that's about 11 1/4. So we have various boards of walnut here. I think this one will work out pretty well for the face of all of them. I think all my shelves need to be about 19 inches. This one here has a good bit of live edge that I'm going to try to utilize. So what I want to do is actually cut this one in half down the middle, and I'll make up the nosing for my 6 shelves. This one, I need a 4-inch piece out of it, I believe, because this one I'm going to rip in half. And then this one, is this long enough for me to get 6 20-inch pieces? It is not long enough for 6 20-inch pieces. I have to grab another piece of walnut from up top and or let's see. This is 1 piece short from what I actually want. So I'm going to get 4.5, two pieces at 3 1/4. That's 7, 7 3/4. I need at least 3 or 4 inches. And if I take a 4-inch rip out of this one, I'm going to be one piece short. Trying to think if I want to grab one from up top or if I have a piece of red oak or something down below. I think for now, what I'm probably going to do is just make all the shelving out of what I have here. And if I need to, well, it's for my dad, so if I need to make another shelf, I'll just do that later. So the first thing I want to do is chop these pieces up to 20 inches. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining in. So the first thing we're going to do, though, is set up a stop block on the miter saw for 20 inches. Oh, that's full of sawdust. That is the one thing that blows about my Festool vacuum being down right now. There's no dust collection to the miter saw. We'll set the stop block up at 20 inches. My shelves need to be 19. I'm not really too worried about any snipe or anything else throughout the milling process. What we're tackling right now is we're making shelves for this TV stand. We just got the doors installed. So yeah, now we're about to glue up the blanks for all the shelves, and we're planning to use a bunch of walnut. I have some live edge walnut here, well, some walnut boards that have live edge on them. I'm going to use that for the nosing to make up the shelves. So first thing I want to do is break everything down to about 20-inch pieces. And then I'm going to run them through the jointer planer, glue those up while that's drying. We're going to hop back to the TV stand. I need to flush trim the top piece. I need to sand it and apply finish and drill the shelf pin holes. So we're going to do that while these are gluing up, then sand these, and then hopefully by the end of this live stream, the TV stand is done, shelves are in there, and we're all good to go. So stop block is set up. Let me grab my headset, and then we're going to start chopping these pieces. All right, next up is the table saw. Then we'll head back to the jointer. Let's see, these three are going to get cut in half with the track saw to keep the live edge. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces going to get ripped to 4-inch. This is getting ripped directly in half. Let's do the track saw rip first. You're left with a live edge portion. So I actually attach this, I get my glue up to my shelving. I have a straight edge that can run to the front to it, but I flatten this bottom side, and then get a live edge to go put my shelf. Well, the other two noses for the other, the other four noses for the other. Sorry, I'm trying to do a little bit of math. Trying to make sure this is going to work out right. Because these wire planks are about 9 3/4, give or take. So I'm going to cut these in half. And I think one of those plus one of these can make a shelf that works. So that could be 2 shelves. This can make 2 shelves. These nosings are nosing for 4 shelves. You're going to get a 4-inch piece from each one of those. And then a 3 or 4-inch strip from those. So that works. This one I'm not going to rip in half. Pretty much the only reason why I'm thinking about it is because this side doesn't really have much of a live edge on it. So I wouldn't want to make that side a nosing. So I'm going to leave this one a full plank. Can't joint it though because it's wider than my jointer. But this one's actually fairly flat. So this is just going to get sent through the planer. And this piece, or one of those, and look at them. We could just get sent through the planer. I think this one. So now all I gotta do now is actually rip all these in half and rip those other ones to about 4 inches, give or take. And these will be my 6 live edge nosing pieces over here. Let's see. This is like 9 3/4. So 4 1/2, 4 5/8. I got an 1/8 blade. It's like 4 9/16 should be about the center. Let me switch over my desk collection back to the table saw. All right, 4 9/16. All right. Now I need to face joint and edge joint these, face and edge joint these, and there's 3 of the live edge pieces that I can also joint. And I'll probably go ahead and edge joint these other 2, these 2 wider ones. Actually, I'll probably send them to the planer, get them semi-flat, and then I'll go ahead and edge joint them. Because again, these are wider than my actual jointer bed, so I'm not going to be able to run these through the jointer. I want to be able to keep this live edge. If I make it smaller, this plus one of these won't make the overall width I want for my shelves. So planer will get this flat enough, and then I'll joint the edge. We'll do my glue ups, and then everything can go through the planer at the very end, which will give me my flat and workable shelves. So boom, boom, boom. All of this is getting jointed. These are getting planed, and this is getting jointed. And these will be all the parts I need to make up 6 live edge shelves, walnut shelves for this TV stand. So if you guys are just joining in, this is what we're tackling today. Miter folded doors made all from scraps. A bunch of really thin strips glued up to make a solid panel. And then we have the one I did probably about a month ago over there. That one is what inspired this one. So one of these is for my dad, one's for my girlfriend. Really just deciding on, well, he's going to be the one that decides. This is supposed to be a Father's Day gift. That one over there. So whichever one he chooses will be his. The other one will go to my girl. So first step first, though, let's get these jointed, planed, glued up. And while these are all drying, we can hop back to addressing the carcass. So we have some flush trimming to do, some sanding, a little bit of knot hole filling to do, and we have to drill out our shelf pin holes before that's actually ready for these. Let me cut the light on here in the back. Move this out feed roller and the planer out of the way so I can set up the jointer. Let's see, what's the best place for you guys? Probably in the back of the shop will be the best angle for y'all. Let's get you guys back here and situated. I wonder if on top of the planer will work. I don't think I can zoom out enough to make that one. Let's try. Let's see if I zoom out. You guys let me know if you guys want a different angle. I'm going to try this for right now. Give you guys full access to see the jointer. I could always put you guys further over here in the back. But I don't think I've done this angle before. So it's new. We'll give it a shot. Dust collection hooked up. Let's bring the fence in. How you doing, Christopher? Oh no, it's not. I've had this one for a while. Now we'll switch to the planer. All right, let me make sure you guys can see. All right, I'm only planning 2 of these to get a flat surface that I can then joint. All right, I know that's a little elaborate. I'm going to hit back to the jointer because, again, with these pieces, I'm trying to keep this live edge here. Make sure you guys can see. I'm trying to keep this live edge here. But again, this piece was too wide for my jointer. And if I ripped it down to make it small enough for the jointer, it would have been too small to glue up for my overall panel widths. So just planed it down just to get it flat enough. So then when I joint this edge, at least I have a glue ready surface so I can glue everything up. And then I'll start sending stuff through the planer. And that will give me my overall shelves. So back to the jointer for the last time on this project. And I'll probably go and put that up behind the door after this just to save space. Well, no, I'm working on the bed tomorrow. No need to put it up. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining in. Onto the table saw and glue up. Those two are already ready to be glued. These four are ripped. All right, now it's really just ripping these to the widest piece I can get. All right, beautiful. So now the next step is for me to glue up all of these shelves. Don't know if I have enough clamps to do them all at the same time, but we're going to attempt to. Unfortunately, in this situation, I can't glue up more than one at the same time, strictly for the fact that I'm going to have a live edge on it, and the live edge typically causes problems with clamps. But let's say, for instance, on one of these shelves, these pieces, and then one of these skinnier ones, this should make an 11-inch shelf. And we have 11 3/8 and its live edge. So that's the goal. We're gonna glue up all these. And again, I think I'm gonna have to do them one at a time. So I think with them having a live edge on it, I think me trying to do two or multiple shelves in one glue up might be a little risky. So we're gonna take it slow, try to get all these in clamps and out of our way. And then these will get ran through the planer. And while these are drying up, we'll hop back onto the TV stand. Let me grab out some clamps. Gotta see if I actually have enough to do all these all in one go. Bring these in a little bit. And I guess I could biscuit joint them, but again, they're gonna get sent through the planer, so I'm not too worried about alignment. They all do have jointed bottoms, so they're going to sit flat on the clamps, which will help keep the bottom side nice and aligned. Let me grab a rag so I can actually wipe off the excess glue as I go. Actually, I have one that's already out. Where did I put it? Damn it. I thought I had a rag. Out. Nope, this one right here. Whew. I probably can do two at the same time. I think I'm going to try in the next set of clamps, because it almost does feel like a waste. And also, I cut these pieces to about 20 inches, and the shells need to be about 19. So it's not really super crucial that I get the edges perfectly lined up, but also I don't want to have them way out of whack that, hypothetically when I finish up, I can't yield the shells that I need. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining in. And essentially all I'm going to do is push down on the clamp. Push down on the boards. Because again, the bottom side is already jointed. Just to make sure it's making firm contact with the bottom of the clamps. And yeah, I definitely think I can do two at a time. And just like that, this is going to be one shelf that will get sent to the planer. And again, keeping it live edge, using the materials on hand, I think this is going to come out really nice. And they're going to complement the TV stand nicely. I was originally just going to make them solid, square shelves. I think the live edge is going to be a nice touch. Definitely want to wipe off the glue on the bottom because we took the time to joint these boards. So when we get ready to go to the planer, having the bottom side as smooth and as flat as possible, we just make the planing process quick and easy. But yeah, I'm going to attempt to do 2 shelves, 1 set of clamps. I don't think they're going to cover both too bad, and I don't want to run out of clamps. Let's see. Live edge piece, skinny piece. Yeah, I think it's going to clamp up just fine. Let's start back here. Hey, how you doing? And good night. And we just started seeing glue squeeze out. Let's tighten up this side. And be sure to keep pressure pushing down onto the clamps. All right, that's two. So that is a total of 3 shelves and clamps. In another 30 minutes, I can pull them out and send them through the planer. And again, wiping off the backside, because this is the side that we jointed, just to make sure that when I take these out and send them to the planer, I have a flat side to reference. Flat-ish side to reference. All right, 3 more sets of shelves to glue up, and then we can hop over to the actual TV stand and start getting that addressed for finish. Let's see, wait a minute. We have 1, 2. Okay, these make a shelf, and then these 3 pieces make a shelf. Let's see, this is 11.5. This one is 10. Is this piece wider? It is by a little bit. It gives me 10.5. 11 at its widest points. That's 5. That's 5. So that's as wide as it's going to get. So yeah, these are going to be my next 2 shelves, and then I have these pieces to make up my last shelf. Get all those in clamps, and then we can start addressing the actual TV stand. Grab 2 more clamps. There we go. Glue squeeze nut all the way across the joint. I actually can't put that one up there. These clamps, because both of the sides of the live edge has it slipping. So what is a alternative? All right, one more to do. All right. All the shelves are in clamps. Next up is to actually address the body of the TV stand. We got some flush trimming to do. We got a drill for the shelf pin holes. And then we have to sand up the entire carcass outside of the carcass and the doors. All right, let's bring the TV stand over here. Oh, I got nowhere to put this right now. Sorry, tracks off. One thing I do love about the layout of my shop is I made all the benches the same height. So I could actually roll this one all the way up here and just slide this directly off. This is actually long enough. Just for me to slide it. First thing I need to do is actually snatch these doors back off. And then I need to go ahead and flush trim the top panels are a little long, so I need to get flush trim with the router. And then I gotta sand the whole entire face. And then we have to drill out our shelf pin holes. And then sand the whole entire box. So I think the best position for that will probably be right here. First thing we're gonna do is snatch off all the doors. Luckily, these are the Euro style hinges, so they're just unclipped. Nice and easy. The hardware is gonna need to come off those. I have to actually sand the actual doors themselves. Let's see, the first one's first shelves when they clamped at like 105. It's like 135, 140. I can pull those out of clamps. Let me grab the baggies. Also, I'm debating whether or not I should do like a round over or anything on these doors and leave them square. All right, flush trim, drill for shelf pin holes, and then sanding. Let's put these doors off to the side for now. Grab my step ladder. Oh, and I already got the right bit in there. That's nice. Very successful with a ton of sawdust right in my chest. I'm gonna step up on a higher rung next time. Might make that a little more pleasant. That's the top side. That's perfectly flush. Whew. All right, that's it with the router. Oh. Now I just need to drill my shelf pin holes. Grab the step collar. I have 1/4 inch shelf pins and a 1/4 inch bit. Let me grab the shelf pins. It's one thing I don't remember, whether or not you tighten this down inside the flute or if it was on the actual cutting edge. I think it's the actual cutting edge. Damn it. There we go. And that should be the proper depth. And the shelf pin holes have already been located. I had pre-drilled them all out with pegboard. So now I just need to again go back with the proper size bit at the proper depths. Whew. All right. That is all of the shelf pinholes. Now this thing just needs some good sanding and some finish applied to it. Thank you. All right, that's sanded all the way up to 80 grit. I need to fill some holes with some CA glue, maybe some epoxy on some of them. But the carcass is trimmed up and ready to go. Next thing I want to do is start pulling out some of these shells and clamps. And I can start sending those through the planer. It's been about 40 minutes since it's been in clamps. I typically like to give it at least an hour or so, but I think this will be more than fine to send through the planer. So we're going to unclamp all the shells and then send them through the planer, and that'll probably be the end of the stream today. Another shelf. Again, they all have that live edge on one side. Makes the shells a little less boring than this, some standard square cut walnut. Bless you. Alright, now we're just going to send all these through the planer. And then there's just a bunch of sanding, and I have to apply the finish. And this TV stand will be completed. But planer will be the last thing we'll probably do today. All right, let's get all these ran through the planer. Love you, Lita. And now, just like that, I have several live edge walnut shelves. I just need to scrape off the live edge, sand up this side, and rip and cut them to their final dimensions. Again, I was able to utilize the live edge that was left over on one of those really narrow boards. Didn't have to grab a slab or anything else. But I think these came out really nice. And these will make some really nice shelves for the TV stand. I think this is about where I'm going to call it for the day. The last thing I need to do is sand up everything. We have the TV stand. We have all the doors. These need to be sanded and finished. These need to be sanded and finished. And then the carcass itself, we went in and flush trimmed it and got this nice and even. I love how we have that little small shadow line going all the way along that rabbit. We've added the extra hardwood along the face of it. We have all the shelf pinholes drilled. So the next thing to do again is just sand and finish. And I'm going to take care of that off stream. I'm planning to stream tomorrow because I'm still working on the bed. I have some stuff coming tomorrow that's going to help me out with that. But we have all the side panels for the dressers and the nightstands. So tomorrow's stream will probably be just unveiling this completed and continuing on with the bed stuff. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed the stream, enjoyed this process, please let me know down below. Smash that like button, leave me a comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.